Thanks for inviting me for this podcast. And I am a supply chain professional who has been in this field for more than 14 years. And I have worked for various sectors of supply chain. I have worked for the software implementation of supply chain along with the project management of the implementation. I have also worked on extensively on the operation side of the supply chain, where I was working, you can say, 24 into 7 for supporting the logistic for the whole of India, for the East India, West India, like that. Region wise, also, I have worked with 3PL, 4PL, all the logistics. Apart from that, I have variety of experience. Even I have worked for some competitor related data also for one of my organization. And I would like to tell you that currently I am also providing trainings and other support for the supply chain professionals. So that is what my journey so far, and I'm doing it. If you would like to know about my personal life, then I have two babies.
Oh, wow.
I'm
That is
taking care
great.
of them along with my, the tough life of supply chain. So that's why I have moved to now the software side of the supply chain. That is how I'm managing my personal professional life now.
That's actually very beautiful and very inspiring, Swati. Having worked in the sector for so long and across different industries is a very big deal. And from what I have found out, you were definitely practicing some form of amazing leadership skills when you are doing this, moving across sectors and navigating life. So please tell us more about how has your experience been with experiencing different sectors.
So supply chain is like it's not like theory that you will
Mhm.
read it somewhere in your graduation, in your PG or somewhere, or you will go to some professional and just make a note and then you will learn and you will become a pro or expert in that.
Mhm.
So sector wise, the experience varies. If you are working for an IT sector supply chain, like currently I am working, so that's a different. If you're working for a e-com sector logistics supply chain, that was different. So for a professional like me who is coming from a 24/7 logistic operation background, the IT sector is definitely cool. You will feel
Wow.
pretty relaxed over there because you
Mhm.
are working for the implementation part, though it's hectic. I'm not telling it's relieved, it's
Not
hectic.
hectic, true.
Yeah, but compared to that experience, this is far better. So different sector
Wow.
has different experience. Yeah, if you are working for a B2B sector, then you will have
Mm-hmm.
to break your head in a different way. If you are working for a B2C sector, then definitely the load and pressure will be more because you know how we people think. If our order is delayed by a 5 minute, we start bugging them. Where is my order? Where is my
Definitely.
food? Where is my ABC? So
Mm-hmm.
so that is how it goes. So that's why different sector, different experience. If you are working for a cold sector, cold chain sector logistic, you'll have to bother about the temperature, about the time, everything. And if you are working for some perishable item, like for a supply chain where you support these perishable items, fruits, food, and all, then you'll have to bother about all the things. Are they packed properly? Are they maintained at a definite temperature? Are we taking care of the time duration for which they'll be fresh? And we should make sure that it should reach on time to the destination. So different sector has different
Ways of
expertise they need.
functioning,
Yeah.
true. That's
Yes.
actually great. And you have worked for managing warehouses at Flipkart to leading global projects at Accenture. So, how
Yeah.
did you balance these technical problem solving with people leadership skills?
So if you say problem solving, then definitely I used to do a deep dive. What I have, the whatever problem is there coming up in front of me, I used to do a deep dive and then figure out what's the consequences of that problem, what's the consequences for a long term impact for that particular problem, and then we'll figure out the remedies, you can say. Then we'll figure out the solution, how to move on, and make sure that that particular solution doesn't stay only till me. I make sure that my teammates, my juniors, all the cross functional team, whoever needs to learn, they also learn. So that I suggest documenting any defects resolution comes up while implementation. So we should make sure that all the team members are learning it. It shouldn't be like only to me. So that's why.
Wow.
Yeah. And while working for Flipkart and warehouse there over that was a logistic operation. So I made sure that whatever experience I gained based on different situations, like in COVID, we had to deal with some different situations where whatever experience still date we carried, no matter how much expertise you had, you can't move on with the same experience during the COVID period, right? So
Definitely.
so whatever I learned there, I made sure that my colleagues, my teammates, or whoever new joiners coming up, they all know about that how we can deal with that particular tough situation where you don't have things in hand. Normally we have the things in our hand, like manpower. Okay, someone went on leave for a long time and we have a peak time. We can ask some other third party resources to get onboarded and do the stuffs, or we can hold the shipments and do. But in COVID, there's no certainty when your manpower is not coming. Will they be back by 15 days or a month or what? Or will they be coming back or not, right? So such
True.
situations, I just took the ownership and tried to handle it in a way that, okay, fine, we should look for the alternative. We should keep our customer posted so that they also don't get impacted, and made sure that all the things are maintained, all the sanitization, all the cleanness, whatever was required. So that is how I used to deal with those
That's
situations.
very inspiring, Swati, the way you put it forward. The fact that you prioritize the learning not just for yourself but your team members is something we all wish to have when we talk about our bosses, that someone who ensures everyone grows together. And it is
Yeah,
very amazing the way you have experienced everything and have implemented your skills in the sector. And you mentioned COVID. So I feel for me personally, COVID was the time when supply chain actually came into the limelight.
yeah,
Everyone knew how important that was. Till then, the
yes.
other sectors were more into the everyone's eyesight.
IT
Oh
and
wow, exactly. IT,
yeah,
finance, accounting. That those were the just
other,
main
yeah,
sectors to be prioritized. But now supply
yes,
chain's importance is realized, I believe. And
yes.
I feel that supply chain was the sector which felt like
Much
the most
needed.
essential part. Yeah.
Yes, yes, a much
Yeah.
needed. Yeah. Right.
Exactly.
And
So I just
especially in
Mhm.
India, we saw investment from government side and all initiatives from government during that period. Otherwise, if you
True.
go to European and US countries, they were having the importance. But in India, we
True.
didn't pay much importance, right?
Definitely. And that is exactly what made, I think COVID did act as a, I think, as a boon for us, at least for the supply chain sector, because that's the time when everything came into picture. And I read an article
Yeah.
somewhere that because of COVID, the sector like supply chain also became dealable for work from home purposes. Till then, it was considered that no, supply chain and logistics is a very on-site sector to be dealing with. But COVID
Yeah.
made that possible too, so I think that does work for us.
Yes.
And the last conversation we had on call, you told me that you were pregnant during COVID and still you continued working. Please tell us about your experience. How was it?
The experience, it was like a new kind of experience. Definitely, you won't ever get a chance to have that pregnant
True.
and a COVID situation
COVID.
where you were already dealing. Means you have to deal with some care both professionally and personally. If I'm going out for a doctor visit, I need to take all the cares. In
True.
fact, that was another mind pressure, that was another
Mm-hmm.
kind of stress. And for the professional
True.
side, you are again stressed that okay, how to make sure that all the things, all the deliveries, all the customer complaints are getting sorted, making sure that my team who is working on the ground are also safe, because
Safe.
we can't put anyone in
Definitely.
danger. So that was a different kind of stress, managing your professional and personal stress. Definitely, I
True.
learned something new, how to balance that, not get yourself too tensed. And I must definitely mention a good credit for my teams also, for my managers also, who really
Wow.
supported me, made sure that I don't visit any site, keeping my condition, condition in mind, that I don't go physically anywhere. If that is needed, then my teammates supported that, okay, they'll visit the site if in case
Wow.
needed. So that was also of a great support for me. And
Definitely.
and I handled all the situations from my home.
Mm-hmm.
And I try to resolved as much as by coordinating with multiple peoples on call. And as you told, that COVID definitely gave a chance and make the people assure that yes, we can handle vendor onboarding, whether it is vendor onboarding, whether it's your ground staff managing by sitting at one place, whether it's at your home or at your office, definitely through the calls. Just you need that you should be good in communicating and convincing the people that you should come, you
True.
should be this, you should handle, without going them physically and just sitting on their head and telling them, I'm sitting here, you do this. No. So that is how I managed a whole 9 months in COVID, and all. I made sure that
Wow.
I convey and convince my people so that no one needs to
Definitely.
bother and visit it physically, and keep the people safe also.
Definitely, Swati. That is firstly very inspiring, and we are very proud of you that you handle such a sensitive situation, COVID and pregnancy, both at the same time, so beautifully and smoothly. And definitely, credit goes to your team for being so cooperative and kind to
Yeah,
help you mm, keep on continuing your work along with the pregnancy. And I feel that COVID definitely changed a lot for the sector, being able
yeah,
to manage so many things. And I think what you just mentioned is what my next point was going to be, that as women, it's dealing with the supply chain sector, I think, is still considered to be tough. But now, with the availability and possibility of work from home, it becomes a little less stressful than it should have been.
yes, yes. Because see, Ayushi, if you go for this particular sector of supply chain, so I have worked on both the sectors, right? For the software side also and for the operation side. So if you're working on a software side, then it's pretty cool. You're working like a IT professional. You don't need to bother on that. You are definitely an IT professional who goes to the office, who has a definite fixed 5 days working, and they'll work whatever timing, whatever shift they have. But if you are working on this operation side, then it is definitely a tough for we women, because we need to manage our home. No, ever,
Definitely.
whatever you do, whatever height you reach, at least in India, we Indians feel that as a woman, you need to manage your home, your baby, your family, everything. Right. So
True.
that is definitely a tough challenge. Nowadays, as some of the companies we see, they are providing the remote working facilities. So definitely it's becoming a bit easy to manage both of this,
Hmm.
family and your professional career. And the operation side demands a lot from you. You have to be on call every time.
True.
You may, like, as I was there in that field, I used to get call at 12 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. in the night also, and you can't say no. You won't be having any festival holidays and all, because that time will be in the e-com sector.
Easy.
Yes, your
Definitely.
peak
Busiest
peak.
time.
Yes. So you won't have any New Year, any Diwali, any other festivals you won't, because that is your peak selling time and you have to be there. We don't get Saturday, Sundays, so you have to be there. At least you can feel okay, I have officially Sunday off, but still you will have to get called, because we expect deliveries on Sunday also, right? We people as a customer expect
Definitely.
delivery all the time, even at 10 p.m. in the night.
Mhm.
So we as a professional see, we have to be there to make sure that the customer are satisfied. So that's why it is
Definitely.
tough. But if you'll go for my personal experience, I really enjoyed that experience, and I definitely want to go back when my kids grow up. I definitely want to go back to that sector,
True.
because there you get every day, every time a new thing. That's not you are sitting and always having, okay, this issue is there, I'll write this code, I'll edit it, and I'll get the solution. The operation is a new learning each and every day. It's a challenge every day, right?
Definitely.
So
And the
I
way you
definitely
described it,
want to
I
go
think,
back.
yeah, and the way you described it, I think it sounds very interesting because you
Yes,
learn
it is.
every day. The new challenges are gonna be there, so you're gonna be
Yeah.
dealing with each and everything. And I feel that does make you feel like you're growing at a faster rate
Yes.
than you think you are. So that definitely
Yeah.
helps. And talking about the delivery aspect, I think Blinkit, Zepto, Amazon are making our life a little easier as customers, but a little tough as supply chain professionals.
Yes. If you go at
And
the back end, it's tough.
definitely, and you had described that you are currently leading and training people with different aspects of careers. So please tell us more about what this new venture of yours is and how are you helping others?
So I am giving career coaching to people, like, nowadays lots of opportunities are there in the market. It's not like when we were back 10, 15, 20 years back that you have either become engineer, either become doctor. We don't have
Doctor.
those options, right? And if
True.
you're going for a common sector, commerce side, then you will have an option for becoming CA. Now we don't have that. We have lots of field, lots of things.
Other options. True.
So yeah, so nowadays you see lots of kids getting confused. Someday they'll see some IT professional making a good rise in the career. Someday a doctor making a good rise.
Definitely.
Someday some other supply chain professional, data scientist, data engineer. Lots of things are there, right? So someone is rising, and that depends on whom you are meeting. You will see that person's growth, and you will feel that okay, this sector is growing. I'll become this. Next day that kid will go to some another person, he'll meet some another one, and he'll think no, this is growing more. So that is
True.
what making the people have a proper mindset that okay, you want to be
True.
in this sector. So that type of career coaching I prefer giving. Some people who come to me or whom I meet and they say I'm confused what to do, which side to choose, I've
True.
seen growth here, there, I heard this, that, so such type of thing. Apart from that, I prefer giving people this my experience in supply chain, my learning in supply chain. So making them learn about the supply chain, whether it's the reality, the real sector, giving them the live example that you may have to face this type of situations, you can handle it like this is how the supply chain goes. And as Ayushi, I am CSCP certified also.
Mhm.
So I know
True.
various sectors of supply chain, even though if I have not worked, then also I know that
True.
how the things work. So
Definitely.
so if
And
someone wants to
mhm.
learn, yeah, sorry,
Mhm.
if someone wants to learn, so I make sure that they learn all those things as much as I can help. I'm not really, I know everything, but as much as I
Definitely.
can help, I try to help the people.
And that is, I think, this guidance that you're providing is very needed and essential because personally, some months back, before I had decided my specialization, I was in that spot. Every other sector, every other person felt like, oh, I want to become like this because they are
Yes,
making good money. Then the other side
yes,
was, oh, they have weekends off and good salaries. I want to go for this sector. The
yeah,
sectors kept fluctuating till the time I thought that this was the sector I really liked for myself. But that phase where you are confused, you have to make a choice but
yeah.
don't know which one. And in that time, getting the right guidance from people like you is very important because that one decision is going to affect a lot of things in your career in the longer run.
Yeah, that is what.
That's a very, firstly, congratulations. It's a very, very great
Thank you.
initiative and idea that you have come up with. And
Thank you.
talking about this again, what exactly would be the advice that you would want young women like me to know about the supply chain sector?
See, if you are working, Ayushi, you or any other woman who wants to come up for the supply chain, first she should be mentally prepared whether she want to go for a 9 to 7 kind of job in your development, software implementation, project management kind of role. Definitely project management you will get after having a good career experience, right?
True.
And
Yes.
or else you want to be there in the operation. So if you are a person who loves interacting with lots of people, who know how to face the challenge, you can keep your mind cool, you know a better time management, then you will definitely enjoy the operation side. The most important thing over there is keep your time management good, because you'll have to deal with lots of emails, lots of phone calls, lots of people. I personally dealt with a team where more than I used to have, whether small or big delivery centers, I used to have around 400 plus delivery centers under me.
Wow.
So imagine for one single issue, one person calling from you for you from one DC. So you'll have so many calls,
True.
so many,
Definitely.
so many
Patience is the
emails.
key.
Yes, there your patience and time management is the key, because and how you
Definitely.
communicate. You should make sure that before an issue comes up and lots of people start bugging you, how will you manage that? Okay, the least amount of people will bug you, right? How will you
True.
I used to handle thousands of mail in one day. So
Definitely.
when we
It's
had
a
a big,
mm-hmm.
yes,
Wow.
we
That's a
used to
very, yeah.
yeah, we used to send lakhs of order on field, right, during the sale time and
True.
all.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely lakhs of shipments means at least thousand of customer complaints you
Thousands
can
of calls,
expect.
definitely.
Yes,
And
and
dealing with
apart,
different. different members. The way I see it is like supply chain is the chain. So
Yes.
you deal not just with one professional, but with
No,
like the whole chain that's gonna be
yes.
existing for the delivery to
Yes,
reach on time.
yes, your transport team will be having their issues. Your delivery center
Definitely.
will have their all the issues. And if some internal issue comes up, then people will start bugging you from the ground. Right? We don't get customer calls, but directly. Yeah, even a few times I have faced that situation also when my delivery boys used to give my contact number and tell call to this ma'am and discuss what is the issue.
Wow.
So that is not the process, but still sometimes I face that situation also. So you
Yeah.
should be prepared as a lady that how will you manage both the things? And definitely we women can't ignore our family. We have to be there with
Definitely.
our family. And if you have a kid like me, 4 years, 3 months, too small, so you'll have to manage them also. You can't ignore their
Definitely.
wishes, their desires, and their small naughtiness.
Yes, definitely.
So
And
that is
the fact,
challenging.
exactly. And like, so right now I'm still very young. I am 22. I still need to get my first job as well. But the fact that these all aspects also matter so much to women that we really need to be careful of how we are making the choices in the
Yes.
sector as well. And I personally am still a little worried about how I will be dealing with the sector because I still haven't experienced it yet. But listening from all your experiences, you and all the beautiful ladies out there who have been so inspiring. It really feels like it's not impossible, but it is definitely going to take a very strong mindset, which is going to help
Yes.
me reach there.
Yeah,
And the first thing I experienced and heard was that it is a male dominated sector. So, how has your experience been with it being a male dominated sector?
it's definitely a main dominating sector because post marriage, when I moved from Bangalore to Mumbai to stay with my husband, the whole team was male except me. And I stayed in that sector for 5 years, and 5 years I was the only one.
Oh my God, for
The
five
whole
years
place.
straight.
Yeah, and I was the only one. Though the company definitely wanted to hire, we have lots of female, but they were based out of the main office, the corporate office. No one wants to come to this regional office and play in this mud. So it
Definitely.
had all the males over there, and I one of the female working there. So the teammates supported, and never to forget, Ayushi, the most important is that your family. My husband did a lots of support. He never told anything. He was always supportive, whether I get night calls, whether I get holiday calls, where I miss my festivals or whatever. He was always standing there supporting me. He never argued. Like you might hear lots of people, even the male side, get frustrated. Oh, she is always occupied. How will I enjoy the weekend? How will we have the families here? And how we will enjoy the festivals and all? So there he had lots of support. So that is definitely also one of the most important thing to manage this male dominating sector.
Sector. That is very kind of you, Swati, to mention that because that is very needed to know that this sector will require a lot of sacrifices, I would say, on the holidays, on time you
Yes.
sleep, the coordination, and it is important that we are aware of it before we even get into the sector, that what
True.
we are signing up for. And
True.
also, I feel the fact that you know all of these things and still you are so motivated and happy with the sector also shows that this sector comes with a lot of satisfaction once we are
Yes.
actually doing the job well and we are achieving something out of it, like getting the customers happy, seeing that they are getting what they wanted and being able to
Yeah.
ensure that it reaches to them on the time that they needed it. So I think that
Yeah.
does bring a sense of happiness and victory when we are able to perform that act.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
if you could actually leave us with one leadership lesson for women entering this sector, what would that be?
A better time management. Be patient and try to build a team so that
Okay.
you can get support from the team as and when
Mhm.
needed. A team well educated, don't compare them as, don't take them as a competitor. Build a team of your own internally who will always be there to support you if in case you are running through a hard time, whether it's professional career or as your family. If you get a personal some tough time, then if you have a good team in this sector, they will definitely support you, because I myself have faced that phase and I know how supportive it is. While being pregnant and in the COVID, I definitely built a good team. I built a good relationship with my teammates. So that was of a good support for me from the career viewpoint. So let the
Definitely,
people
Swati.
learn what you know. That will definitely help
Definitely.
you to grow. You don't keep your learning up to you. You need to pass it on so that you can become a leader and you can lead your team and you will definitely have a growth.
True. Thank you, Swati. That was actually a very important lessons that you just told us about today. And my personal favorite point was the team aspect that if with the right people and the right teammates, your all the difficult situations, sensitive situations can also be taken care of. And
Yes.
all that needs is collaboration, teamwork, and good people to be dealing with. Thank you for enlightening us today. It was a great learning moment for me. I am definitely
You.
hopeful that me and each and every person who is listening to this who is going to get so inspired by your journey, being able to deal with COVID, babies, and still succeeding so beautifully in this sector.
Thank you, Ayushi, for giving me an opportunity to come and discuss my experience with you.
Thank you, Swati. It's a pleasure to have you here and learn so much from you.
Most welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.